Hey guys, welcome back to my another exciting Swift tutorial. Today we're going to learn how to authenticate people using email address and password, how to sign up people with email address and password. So we're going to use Firebase today. It's a Google product which helps us authenticate users. So let's get started. So you would want to go to firebase.google.com and click on, you'll have to sign in. Since I already signed in, I clicked on console. Let's go ahead and create a new project. Let's name it email example. It's going to be in the United States. Create project. Alright, so now once it's created, it's going to take you to its console, the dashboard. So what we're going to have to do is go to authenticate auth, click on sign in method. Since we're gonna be working with email address and password, click on enable, save. So that this will allow us to authenticate users with email address and password. So now go click on this home email example and click on iOS, and we're gonna need this iOS bundle ID. In order to get that, we'll have to create a new project. So let's go to Xcode, create an Xcode project, single view application. It's gonna be under Swift. Let's just say email example, and this is your bundle identifier, but let's just go ahead and create. I'm just gonna put it on my desktop and go up to this email example and then copy this bundle ID, go back to your Firebase console, paste it in, and you don't really need the app store ID, so let's just go ahead and skip that and add the app. So now it's gonna make you download the Google Service Info list. I'm gonna just download it on my desktop, and then we'll move it to our project file. This is really important file, so please make sure you put it in the right place. So save it, continue, and we'll come back to this. Now minimize this and open your Xcode project, and now find that Google Service Info.list. I have it right here, so I'm just gonna go ahead and drag it into our project files, and make sure you do it copy item if needed. So let's go ahead and finish. Once it's copied, now let's go back to the console. So the way Firebase has its framework, which we can download it through Pod. So what Pod does, it allows us to embed the framework. So in order to do that, you'll have to have the CocoaPod installed. If you don't have that, go to open your terminal and just type in sudo gem install CocoaPods and hit enter and let the process finish, and then you'll have it. So now let's go to our project. I'm gonna cd to desktop because that's where my project is, and I'm gonna say ls, and this is my project. So I'm gonna say cd email example, and this is my project. So I'm gonna say pod init. This creates the pod file. Once it's created, open the Firebase. We will have to do, this is our second step now. We'll have to copy this pod Firebase. So let's go to our project files, email examples, and here's our pod file. So right click on it, open it with text editor. So put this, and we're also going to need another portion of the Firebase, which is auth. That's how we're going to authenticate people. Go ahead and save, and you can uncomment this since it's going to be above iOS 8. Save it. Now go back to the terminal and make sure you have the pod file. You can see it by just putting ls and just, let's say, pod install. That's our last step, and let the files install everything. And meanwhile it's doing it, let's close this project right now. So once this finishes, go back to your project files, which mine is on desktop. So desktop, email example, and now you want to open the project file that is with the white icon. So now you're gonna, if you make any modification, you're gonna open this project. So open that. So let's get started now. Let's get our UI done first. So we're gonna have two text fields and one button. Alrighty, let's settle this first. And we're gonna just set it regularly. And for tutorial purpose, since I don't want to waste any time explaining constraints, we're just gonna set it. We're gonna just let the Xcode set it. So go ahead and select all the elements. Go come in this corner. Click on Add Missing Constraints, and it's gonna add it by itself. Now open this assistant editor and let's start coding. So let's connect this. Let's go ahead and connect the text fields and buttons. So let's go ahead and select the first text field. Press Control, drag and drop to the view controller, and just say email. Let's connect the second text field. Press Control, drag and drop. Let's name it password. And now let's create the button with an action. And let me rename it sign up. Right now we're just gonna worry about sign up, and we'll worry about login next time. So let's go ahead and click on a button, press Control, drag and drop. This time we're going to create an action instead of an outlet. So click on action, say sign up action. Alright, so let's go back to our Firebase console. It has some nice examples to just set it up. So let's go ahead and continue. And to import the Firebase framework, all we have to say it's import Firebase. Let's go ahead and copy. Let's go back to our project, and let me open the directory navigator, and let's find the app delegate. Let me change it to single single mode, and copy and paste the Firebase. And whenever there is a finish launch with option, we have to say fir app.config. Let's go ahead and copy. Let's go back to our project, paste it. Now the app delegate part is done. Now let's go to view controller, and now this is where we're gonna do our sign up. So before we start using Firebase in our view controller, we also have to import the Firebase here as well. So say import Firebase, and now we can use it. So Firebase has this method. It has a static variable called fireauth.auth $.create user with email address, and here it's going to be email, that text field dot text. Since it's an optional, we have to unwrap it. And same thing with password dot text, and unwrap it. So these two are the text field that we connected from our view controller and the completion handler. So it's going to have user and error. So here, so once the Firebase creates our user with email address and password, once it's complete, it's gonna fetch this code. So it's gonna return the user and the error. So if you want to check and see if error is equal to nil, that means there was no error creating the user. That means it's created successfully. So we can just say print created successfully, I think, if I can spell it right. And let's go ahead and test it. So I'm just gonna do it in iPhone 5. Hit 1. Ready? Let's test it out. So for email address, I'm just going to put example, whatever you want to put, at gmail.com, password. And once we hit sign up, it should print out created successfully. So hit create sign up. So it says created successfully. You can also double check by going to the Firebase Dashboard. So let's finish this. Let's go to our auth board. As you can see, we just recently signed up example at Gmail, and it created on June 13th, and this is their user ID. So this is how you create authentication using Firebase. So this is all for this tutorial. Thank you guys for watching this, and I'm gonna put the code on GitHub so you guys can grab it. Just make sure that you get your a Google info list file, this one that I downloaded. So just do that